Hey, how's everybody doing? Welcome to Talking Shit. It's your boy Sophisticated Jerk and M3. Stands out here, on vacation, tricking off on some heavyweights. Nah, just shout out to Stan though, man. Enjoy your vacation. Wally probably show up later, but he's been busy also. But me and M3, we gonna rock out as always.
Oh yeah, you already know, man. So we're gonna definitely hold it down.
All right, man. The first topic today, man. I came across this article like a couple weeks ago about Daddy Yankee, and he's going through a divorce, and the title of the article. Let me go ahead and pull that up real quick, and then I got another video that kind of breaks down the whole situation. But it was like Daddy Yankee claims estranged wife withdrew 80 million as he files injunction amid split report. So on December 2nd, the musician shared a statement on his Instagram stories confirming he and Mireddys Gonzalez had split after nearly 30 years of marriage.
Oh
And this
wow.
one, I was like, damn, after 30 years, man, let me go down a little bit more. So Daddy Yankee has reportedly filed a motion against his estranged wife, Gonzalez, claiming she withdrew 80 million without authorization from his El Cartel records and bank account. So it's just like, damn, he kind of put her on because from what the story was saying, he built up his company, very famous, especially in like Latin America with the reggaeton and stuff, official, built his company up, put his wife in the business, and her and her sister, I guess since they were going through divorce, like withdrew the money and shit. So it's like, damn, she did them 30 after 30 years of marriage. Like I know divorces be rocky, but I'm like, God damn. Like it's not like this cat just married you 2 years. It was throwing you out in the streets. So yeah, it's like I saw the
Yeah.
story. I was like, yeah, we gotta definitely check this one out. But let me go ahead and pull up the video because they go in deeper about the story and stuff. But just before we jump in that, man, what's your kind of take on that?
See, man, it's sad, man, because like a man be trying to build his wealth and he's trying to build his family, his generation, but then it's like once it goes downhill, like between you and your missus, now emotionally they want to take out stuff, they want to kind of disrupt the flow, and it's like really, man, like it's just like a bad look. Ultimately, man, like both parties lose at the end of it. I wish it could have been a situation where they could work things out, but I mean, shoot, they had a long run for 30 years. Some people don't
Yeah.
even make it after 10 years.
Cause I'm pretty sure, like, if you've been with somebody 30 years, man, that dude is gonna naturally look out for you and put you in a good capacity. Cause I think his net worth is like 50 million. So it's not like he gonna, you're gonna be broken, not do nothing. So to step over that line, it'd be like, man, okay, I'm gonna take like 80 million out the account. It's just like, man, why I don't understand why people feel they have to go that far, and start doing crazy shit. It's just like, man, lawyer up if you think somebody might do something and, they're going to make it equitable and stuff. But yeah, just to go to that extreme after like 30 years. And, like typically it's funny because, when, the red pill space, when I first came on, everybody's like, all right, man, build you up a company, employ your wife, let her come work for you. And I was always giving pushback. I was like, I don't think that's a good idea. Like, I was like, man, I think the two individuals, man and woman, should like, find their own lanes in life and stuff. You should always like employ your spouse. And when I saw this, I was like, see, this is what I'm talking about. Because that person that knows your ins and outs, man, sometimes they'll use that to their advantage and start emptying out accounts. So yeah, it's a, he did the right thing as far as like what they used to say is like, yeah, bring them in the fold, let them work for you and stuff. They don't have to work for the band. And I'm like, this is the ultimate backfire in this case. So yeah.
No, I understand. And like when I was married and my ex-wife and I, like when we both still work for like the district, but it just like in different departments in different locations, which I
Oh,
was
okay.
so cool with that. But there's married couples that actually work in the same department, and I mean, they're Latino or whatever, right? So maybe they probably have a good system going on or whatever, but stuff could still like go sour and can still go downhill, man. Like once uh, one person decides that enough is enough and they want to call it quits. So and right now, so to speak, right, not to kind of derail this, but um, there's a person that have like a love interest, but things not going her way, and now she's just talking like shit about the guy. So
Yeah.
it's crazy, man. So I definitely do not advise having your spouse or anybody who's married having their spouse or partner work in the same like building an apartment with them. Because if it goes sour, man, not everybody could keep it professional.
Yeah, no, that's a good point, man, because don't get me wrong, there's couples that can make it work, man,
Mhm.
by all means, man. I'm one of those people, but I just think, man, two adults and men and women are just so different. I'm like, man, I think you need a separation. So that way it's like, man, when y'all like at the end of the day, y'all meet up, man, you're excited to see each other, man. You're breaking down whatever happened during that day, man. You can give each other feedback. And then, like you said, it's just like, I know people don't like addressing like, well, I don't want to think about the possible breakup when I get into a relationship. But it's like, man, it's just a possibility that sometimes I think you have to, kind of address. It's not like you're jinxing your relationship or something, but it's just like, yeah, you know what? Maybe we should have worked, like you said, in the same area, or like if I start a business, like it might not be the best thing for me to hire you. Maybe we just you could go do real estate and we'll build up a real estate portfolio. You manage that business, but that way it's just like, man, we don't, like I said, you could miss each other, and she could build up something and have her own relevance and stuff. So yeah, I just think sometimes people just take it under consideration. It's just like you don't have to merge everything, and then once shit gets sour, like you said, it's awkward as hell now because it's like, all right, well, shit, this is my company. I done built this up. Where you gonna go work? you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, I don't think people think that far ahead sometimes. That's why I was like, man, sometimes it's good. Just it's like, all right, man, I got this business, but here you go over here. We got this real estate portfolio. Manage that. You're over here. That way it's just if it shit does go sour, like you said, it's like, man, we ain't got to worry about being in the same area and then shit being awkward. But all
yeah,
right, man, let me go ahead and pull up this video and stuff. Now, thanks for sharing that background, man, because yeah, I think sometimes, like you said, man, some of this stuff is just like we don't think about until it happens. But yeah, like you said, you saw people like in the same area. I know that's got to be awkward as hell. But
it's all good, man.
He claims estranged wife Mireddys Gonzalez withdrew $80 million without authorization. Daddy Yankee's divorce from Mireddys Gonzalez is getting complicated, the reggaeton superstar.
damn, 80 million though. I got to pause real quick. That's a lot of money for somebody to play with, man. Like, because I'm pretty stoic on most cases, but I think 80, I'll be on some panic mode. I'll be there, call the cops like 80 times, like, man, y'all better hurry up and gotta get this person, man, because look, I'm about to snap. Damn it, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, you know what? I want to just this is going to just be a transparent night, right? I will put a disclaimer, right? I'm not speaking bad on my ex. I'm not speaking bad on any situation. You just live and learn. But one I'll say fatal mistake that I will say financially was putting anything into one person's name. Um, Probably had I known whatever particular situation, just the outcome of our marriage would have been like, I would not invested with my ex because and I'm just gonna just be honest with you. After the whole divorce thing, um, at least I would say close to like if not 64, I think it was 84 or 64. It was somewhere around between 64 to 84,000 that went down the drain. And that was like for retirement and all these funds that if it could have been held for at least like, like 5 or 10 more years.
Oh, okay. I see
Yeah.
what you say.
Yeah, pretty much money was lapsed and it was just, yeah. So yeah, so I feel like on that part, man. Like, when you lose out on something big like that you work hard together, oh, it's a herder. You
Yeah,
start
yeah. No,
off
I feel you.
on zero.
And I think that's why I was always just so cautious, man, because I seen it myself, man, when I was growing up. Like I always say, that's why I was just like, man, we're gonna do 50-50.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna make sure I build both of us up. So it's like you invest, I invest, hey, we work out, it all comes to the household anyways. So it's just, I think a lot of times people's like, oh, you're hiding money over here. It's like, no, we're transparent, we're everything, but it just allows both people to build equally instead of everything being entwined. Cause it's like you said, it's like, man, if you get a divorce, and I've seen this with a lot of people. This happens more often than it's just like when a divorce happens, it's like everything's merged in one thing. It's like, all right, take it out. You're like, you could, most of the time the guys are the logical ones, like, man, let's hold it. I'm gonna make sure I take care of you. They're like, nah, take it out. Then you get hit with all those taxes and then the fees, or you like you said, you lose the money if you're invested in it. So it's just like, man, it's just not good. It's just like, look, you got your account over here, it's in your name. Like I said, if everything goes good, it's still going back to the house. But if not, it's just like, man, you don't have to worry about losing all those fees. So even in I'll say Daddy Yankee's case, if I just had that much, say like if I had 50 million and that was my net worth and I've been married all them years, like, man, here's 25, here's 25. I would invest mine like aggressive.
Yeah.
You could put yours in index funds, those safer investments, whatever you kind of want to do. Like I can help you structure that, but that way, I think it people don't get that scarcity mindset, that duress mindset. When you do stuff like that, you let them like invest, and like I said, it's still going back to the household. But yeah, for some reason, man, with it's that moment. I'm telling you, females are like, pull everything.
Right.
talk to a divorce lawyer, man. Y'all don't believe me, man. Like we talked to this one lady on Will's panel. She was breaking it down because she was a divorce negotiator. She was like, look, everybody talks all this shit like, oh no, I'll do the best thing for my spouse if I get a divorce. She was like, guys and even women like, oh, I would never like try to take everything, when I get divorced. She's like, look, everybody goes to their corner. She's like, guys are trying to hide money and females are trying to take the most. So she was like, y'all better off. Like, she was like, because she was giving me a manic kudos. She was like, nah, that's the best way. Because most people, she was like, I know multimillionaires. And she was like, I don't work with it. She's like, they ain't trying to come up off that bread. And she was like, the women, they going in there, they trying to take everything. They like pull it. So yeah, I think people just need to start considering it. All right, let me get back to this video.
47 is seeking an injunction against his estranged wife, also 47, alleging she withdrew $80 million from the bank account of his record label without authorization. According to court documents obtained by Billboard, Yankee-born Ramon Luis Ayala Rodriguez filed the motion in San Juan, Puerto Rico, on Friday, December 13th, against Gonzalez, her sister Aicha Gonzalez Castellanos, and El Cartel Records. While Yankee founded El Cartel in 1997, Gonzalez reportedly served as the CEO, and her sister worked as the secretary and treasurer. In his filing, Yankee claimed that in spite of the plaintiff being the owner of
See, and that's the thing. They said he founded the company, but he went and employed her, the sister, made her treasurer. So he's doing everything typically. Like everybody's like, man, you do the right stuff by the guy, and it still burned him. That's why I'm like, man, it's funny because like we be doing all these lies, and women be like, why are you guys so like scared and y'all think like all this stuff can happen? We're like, man, we see it playing out too many times because Daddy Yankee ain't no like lame dude. This is a official guy, had his shit together, put the family on, been married 30 years and he's still getting this outcome like this, high level ultimate provider. Is like, man, you this is some scary stuff when you start mapping it out. But also it breaks the stereotype because a lot of times people be like, I think in our community we fixate just on black and our color, but it just shows you like, man, this happened to everybody. This is Hispanics, whites. So it just ain't like a beholden to like one race and shit.
Yeah, definitely.
What's good, Wally? I'm gonna play the video a little bit more, but let me know if you want me to stop and if you want to chime in, Wally.
All right, no problem. Go ahead.
Of the shares of the company and being the reason for the existence of the corporation Cartel Records Incorporated. Today, he lacks access, interference, and information to all that he generated and continues to generate, and to which he is entitled according to court documents obtained by Billboard. Yankee-born Ramon Luis Ayala Rodriguez filed the motion in San Juan, Puerto Rico, on Friday, December 13th, against Gonzalez, her sister Aicha Gonzalez Castellanos, and El Cartel Records. While Yankee founded El Cartel in 1997, Gonzalez reportedly served as the CEO, and her sister worked as the secretary and treasurer. In his filing, Yankee claimed that in spite of the plaintiff being the owner of the shares of the company and being the reason for the existence of the corporation Cartel Records Incorporated, today he lacks access, interference, and information to all that he generated and continues to generate, and to which he is entitled according to the filing, the $80 million. Withdrawal occurred on Thursday, December 12th, after Yankee had already advised Gonzalez and Gonzalez Castellanos that they could not carry out any transactions on behalf of El Cartel. Yankee's filing also addresses the recent sale of his catalog for $217 million.
Damn.
In October, independent music company Concord acquired some of the rapper's music publishing and master recordings, including hits Gasolina, Con Calma, and Despacito. According to Yankee, however, Gonzalez hired a third party to represent El Cartel in the sale, and the price agreed upon turned out to be unreasonable, disproportionate, and far below the real value. The Latin Grammy winner further claimed that to this day, he does not know the real scope of the transaction, nor does he have detailed knowledge of what was or was not sold, nor the limitations he may have on the use of his musical creations. Yankee and Gonzalez announced their split on December 1st. After nearly 30 years of marriage, with a heart full of respect and honesty, I want to share some important news about my personal life. After more than 2 decades of marriage, and after many months of trying to save my marriage, which my wife and I share, today my lawyers responded to the divorce petition received from Mireddys, Yankee wrote via Instagram at the time. I appreciate the time we shared, full of blessings and values, of love, and with a beautiful family that will continue to be our priority. This is not an easy time, but I understand that it is part of my life process. The estranged couple, who tied the knot in 1995 when they were both 17, share 3 kids, Gisele's, 28, and Yamale, 27, and Jeremy, 26.
Shout out to Daddy Yankee on that one. He took the high road. I would have cussed out her mama, her sister. The whole family would have got it on that one, boy.
Man,
And like I said, typically, shout out to the person that created that. That was American News today. So, but I'm gonna turn it over to you, M3 and Wally, man. What y'all thoughts on that?
hey man, best wishes, man. Like, I don't know, man. Like losing that amount, that couldn't be me. But at the same time, I understand why, like, maybe in the media's eyes, he wanted to take the high road of things because he know like it's like a lose-lose situation. The moment you start emotionally acting out or saying what you really want to say, you're always going to be looked at as the bad guy. Again, it's this is like a situation where it's like it kind of sucks because I understand like what he was trying to do. He was trying to build his foundation for his family, like keep it within the family and let the money circulate and roll within the household. But all that stuff wouldn't really matter once your spouse makes a decision that she's no longer yours. And that money, whatever that she kind of accumulated from, she's gonna take that and yours too. So you just gotta be careful, man. That's all.
Damn. All right, Wally.
Ladies and gentlemen, moral of the story is this. This is why you have separate brains. You don't share shit. Look at it. That should never happen.
That's why hey, Wally, it's funny you said that because right before you came on, I was like, man, that's why I'm big into like things split. But on the flip side, I do believe you build both people up, but with certain things, man, you need a clean split. All that, like, hey, pull everybody in your business, the people's family is like, nah, you need a clear divide. And when it comes to like controlling that money, I think if you can't do it, like say Daddy Yankee, he couldn't do the finance portion, which is fine. A lot of people, hire somebody external, CFO that, their whole business is to make sure that their whole job is to make sure the business is whole. Cause it's like, sometimes when you put family in there, man, them cats be feeling entitled and obligated for, you know, like a bigger portion, but you got that person that's like external, like, nah, anytime like you got the control of the money, that person needs to be external. Give them different roles. Like she could have been the director
don't get
of
me
like
wrong.
recruiting or something.
I mean, don't get me wrong, externals can screw you over too, but I mean, as long as you pick the right ones. But my thing is, to that extent of doing all of that is like we talking about 80 million. It's one thing if you said 1,000 or something, and you know it went to the family, but it went somewhere totally somewhere else, and it wasn't even called for. You didn't even told him. It was like 80 million, and you didn't say nothing. Yeah. Oh hell no, nope, gotta disconnect.
Yeah, I give him a lot of credit, man, because he had that. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like, this is why, like, when it comes to this, like, I can get like people having like one particular, you know, cohesive bank, but at the end of the day, everyone still gotta have their own. Because what I'm earning, shit means I earned this. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, but I give him credit, man, because he was pretty. Even after all that, man, he had a great response. So, Daddy Yankee, man, shout out to him, man. I think I took my hat. He tried to do the right thing as far as the family, but just learning lesson moving forward for like a lot of people. It's just like, man, you know, just be careful, because like even Wally said, it's just like even if you go external, man, that person could still do some things, but that's why you have like checks and balances. It's like, man, you just don't give a CFO free reign. Even if you're the CEO, man, you watch all that stuff. Like anytime you have a protocol within your system, like anything has to be approved by me. Like any major transaction over, like if you're a multi-million-dollar business, is like anything over like 50,000 I need to view it. You know, that's how tight you keep that ship. So it's like you can make sure that you're seeing anything moving. It has to have your signature. That way it's like, say they forward your signature, they that's lawsuit. Like you gonna recoup that money.
You better track every paper, every receipt.
Hell yeah. But all right, man, we'll go ahead and close out that one. But no, I thought it was a good story because, like I said, it breaks a lot of the stereotypes. Because, like I said, a lot of times we just like think, you know, divorce is a bad thing. It only happens to one race. I think everybody just goes to their corners, and it just also shows. It's like, hey, man, this dude that was married 30 years did everything right, put her family into it, and he still got kind of bit by that. Oh, one last question I wanted to ask y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do y'all think like rich men should even get married, or should they just like do the spiritual wedding if they still want to get married? Like, hey, you know what? I can't do it with no paperwork, but let me do the spiritual wedding.
So basically, marriage without like involving like the government.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, like I think that would be a better option. If but then it's like, what's the point of even doing the spiritual thing anyways, right? Because the women will rather or prefer for you to do it like the governmental way. And the thing is, like, even if you're not married to that person, the moment you have kids by her, it's already over. So she's gonna claim like that 18 years of child support, you know, from you, and you're gonna be paying that for a while, for a good 18 years. I'll just say, like, you know, for people who are rich, man, it's gonna be a lonely road up to the top, because especially once you're famous, I'll say once you're famous and rich, you can't trust nobody else. So you're better off by like having a bunch of like one night standers, or you know, get you a cool like rotational chicks or whatever that fall in line, and that's it.
Go ahead, Wally.
I mean, I somewhat agree with M3 a little bit, because you got to think about it, right? It's like when you become quote unquote this high end bachelor, honestly, eventually you just have to live this like sort of a solo lifestyle a little bit. Right. But I mean, but to the overall question though, is like, I mean, honestly, I don't think so. It really matters, because it's like, okay, let's say you don't do it by the government. It's like, or the government notion. There's still common law.
Mm-hmm.
And then even if without that, it's like, I think no matter what, there's still a weaseling way, because like, well, let's see, you got how much kids with this person? You've been together how long? I mean, eventually it all pans out to something. So I don't think so. There's really no escape, no matter which way. It's really just who are you dealing with, who's the person you're dealing with, and how they moving, and that's just it. So in this case, like I always will tell you, always verify by week, by month, and by year. Because the moment they start moving wobbly, just like the popo, you lock them up and throw it with keep. In this case, that means get the frick out, get out.
Man, I think, man, for a rich guy, I think, man, once you, like M3 said, once you get status and money and stuff, I think you got to become fully transactional like a chick. And what I mean by that is, man, I think you can't get married the regular way with the government. You better look, like Wally said, you better make sure you look at them common laws. And if they got common laws, you don't even play with it. You don't even act like you get married. You're just like, look, we're boyfriend and girlfriend. And if you have kids, you better do one of those Michael Jackson agreements. Like, like, look, if I give you a kid, it's mine. You got to sign over all the custody. It's like straight paperwork, you know, where you got that surrogate. He's like, look, you're a surrogate, but you can live in this house with me and stuff. So you make everything transactional. Everybody gonna be on paperwork. So yeah, I think that's the workaround.
I mean, yeah, that's the workaround for them. But then again, he's like, got all depends what we're talking about here.
Yeah, I just think if you get that type of money, man, you come fully transactional. You put people on contracts. Like, all right, you a surrogate, but I'll let you stick around.
what I forgot what that financial vehicle that they can use.
Trust.
But yeah, they should lock that up. That's how they should be locking it up. Because at that point, they no one really can go through that.
Yeah. You do all that stuff. You do a multitude. That's what I'm saying. Because like a lot of, like M3 had a good point. It's like if you have kids, then you still got to do the excessive child support. I think Jimmy Butler, man, he got to pay like $65,000 a month. So, but if you do the surrogate stuff, it's just like, look, I'm gonna pay you about $200,000, and these kids is mine. So once you sign off, like it's official.
Yeah, I think the only difference though, because what I read about Jimmy the past day, because me and Jay were talking about it. So based upon it says it's strictly for the child. So meaning she ain't getting nothing off of it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna dig in deep to that because I'm gonna look into that because I wanted to break that down. But all right, man, we'll go ahead and we'll jump into the next topic. I just wanted to ask y'all that because I was thinking about it. I'm like, man, damn, as a rich guy, you gotta. Yeah, I'm going full transactional. I'm looking at everything as a business venture. I'm writing everything off.
Yeah, definitely.